You chose absolutely right tuning in to Rwanda Television. A very good evening to you and many thanks for your company. On Rwanda Television News tonight, a sneak peek to it. These are the headlines. On Wednesday, President Paul Kagame received letters of credence from new envoys. In the current judicial year, 20 civil cases worth 7 billion Rwandan francs were resolved through mediation. And to international matters, Nigerians angry about the cost of living crisis are letting off some steam in a new rage room. Good evening to you once again and thank you for your company on Rwanda Television News. On Wednesday, President Paul Kagame received letters of credence from new envoys. These diplomats expressed their commitment to strengthening a relationship and cooperation across various sectors, as well as expanding investment and trade between their respective countries and Rwanda. Their pledges highlight a mutual desire to deepen partnerships and enhance bilateral ties. Adams Kwizera starts us off tonight.
Ambassador Alexander Polyakov, the ambassador of Russia to Rwanda, with his residence in Kigali, was the first to present his letters of credence to President Paul Kagame. Ambassador Alexander Polyakov emphasized that his mission will focus on strengthening the political, economic, security and cooperative ties between Russia and Rwanda. He also expressed appreciation for Rwanda's significant role in global peacekeeping efforts.
Russia respects Rwanda and highly appreciates its proactive and creative approach to the issues of African integration and its outstanding contribution to the international peacekeeping and fighting against terrorism and violent extremism on the continent. We completely understand the motives behind the firm stand of the Rwandan leadership on the multifaceted crisis in the eastern DRC, and we strongly support the idea of putting an end to it by peaceful means of dialogue on the basis of reasonable compromise.
High Commissioner Meredo Pawandas, the High Commissioner of India to Rwanda, he also presented his letters of credence to President Paul Kagame. He emphasized that one of the main priorities of his mission in Rwanda is to strengthen the already existing relations between Rwanda and India.
I am very delighted to be posted to your wonderful capital, Kigali. India and Rwanda have very close, warm and friendly relations. Our Prime Minister has visited Rwanda once. President Kagame has also gone to India. It will be my endeavor to further strengthen these friendly relations between India and Rwanda.
Mauro Masson, the ambassador of Italy to Rwanda, with his residence in Kampala, Uganda, stated that his mission will focus on promoting cooperation in the fields of trade and investment between Italy and Rwanda.
We already have a number of Italian companies which are acting here, and my duty will be trying to increase the number of companies which are present here in your country. On commercial side, we still have plenty of opportunities from both sides. I'm not just saying that Italy has to export more, also Rwanda may export more in my country. Then from the cultural point of view, this year for the first time since many years, Italy was giving 3 scholarships for high degree students of Rwanda. It was not easy to choose, to make the choice, because there were a great number of candidacies for just 3 positions, and the qualifications were very high. And I noticed that Rwanda people likes very much scientific side, so they were engineering, expert in food security. I mean, really good person, and I think this also through scholarship, this is a way to increase the relationship.
President Paul Kagame also received Ambassador Ruslan Rafael Oglunesbov of Azerbaijan with his residence in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. After presenting his letters of credency, Ambassador Ruslan Rafael highlighted that Rwanda and Azerbaijan established a stable relationship 20 years ago, particularly in sharing knowledge and development of public services. He expressed his commitment to further strengthen their ties during his mission.
Azerbaijan and Rwanda this year celebrate 20th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relations. And it is a great honor for me to be here on this occasion and to be accepted by His Excellency the President. For these 20 years, our bilateral relations developed steadily, and we have a very bright prospects for our bilateral relations in the years to come, in many fields, and the details will come, of course, very soon.
Specifically areas?
Very big opportunities in economic field, in humanitarian field, in the field of public service delivery. Also, as you know, Azerbaijan has developed one of the best public service delivery systems in the world, called Asan Service. So we have, in one word, we have many opportunities, and we're going to take concrete steps very soon.
In addition, President Paul Kagame also received letters of credence from several other diplomats. These include High Commissioner Alison Hatherthorpe of the United Kingdom, who is based in Kigali, Ambassador Fatima Yesenia Fernandez of Venezuela, based in Kampala, Uganda, Ambassador Enrique Martinez of Mexico, with his residence in Nairobi, Kenya, and Ambassador Jantian Serb, who represents Romania, also based in Nairobi, Kenya. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams. And moving ahead to justice matters. In the current judicial year, 20 civic cases worth 7 billion Rwandan francs were resolved through mediation. Due to this impact, on Wednesday in Rwanda, there was an inauguration of the newly renovated Alternative Dispute Resolution Center. And Prince Banzi brings us the details.
Law scholars affirm that resolving disputes with no court consultancy is supporting the country in attaining its desired development, as elaborated by Professor Sam Rujeje. Based on the Constitution in Article 10, Rwandans agree on solving disputes through mediation. Mediation helps citizens in terms of harmony, economically, and running from here and there in courts. When a dispute is solved through mediation, it is solved once and for all. Individuals who went through mediation to solve an issue also emphasized this. I thank Margie, which assisted me without going through courts, and my child not being aware of the disputes between me and his dad. I did not pay any penny, and I was given justice. I thank you very much. God bless you. Resolving disputes with no need of courts is one of the key priorities of the justice sector in the 5 years National Strategy for Transformation, NST2, as elaborated by the Justice Minister, Dr. Emmanuel Rugira Shebuja.
Ariko icyo nkwizeza nuko iyi myumvire izagenda ituma dushaka n'indi.
What I can assure you is that with the progress so far, we will also engage in expanding the means. And as you are aware, this is also included in the National Strategy for Transformation, NST2, and the government is to emphasize on it, and this is the first step, and every journey has its first step. On Wednesday, there was an inauguration of the newly renovated Alternative Dispute Resolution Center aimed at providing necessary tools and environment to manage and resolve conflicts outside of the formal court system. The Chief Justice, Dr. Faustin Neziryayo, demonstrates that Rwanda strives to provide efficient justice to its citizens.
Rwandans have resolved their dispute through dialogue, mutual respect, and community-based solutions. Today, we honor that tradition by blending it with modern legal practices and cutting-edge technology. The ADL Center is tasked to blend traditional wisdom with modern legal practices and cutting-edge technologies such as online dispute resolution.
In this judicial year, 2,500 cases were resolved through mediation, with only 20 among them worth 7 billion Rwandan francs. This is 13,000 criminal cases were solved through plea bargaining.
And to economic matters, the Central Bank of Rwanda is confident that it has taken critical measures to ensure that Rwanda is always ready to deal with any problem that could disrupt the economy. The measures include tackling problems of high inflation, as well as continuing to closely monitor the problems that threaten the global economy as a whole. William Evans Mutabazi.
Since the last 2 years, the world's economy continues to return to a good track, which gives hope that it will continue like this or even get better as projected by the indicators of the World Bank. These indicators show that the world economy grew at a rate of 3.2%, and next year it is expected to grow at a rate of 3.3%. While there is hope that the global economy is gradually being restored, there are also concerns about the ongoing political unrest and crises around the world. This could hamper the growth of the global economy. Economic expert Professor Egide Karuranga advises governments to consider looking for markets world over as a measure of dealing with these problems. We have been reluctantly enjoying a degree of stability world over and actively into the full range of activities involved in the production and delivery of a product or service to consumers, and this is known as the global value chain. Countries with extra markets are the only ones that will be able to survive the economic consequences of the rampant political unrest. Another big challenge affecting especially sub-Saharan Africa, where Rwanda belongs, is climate change, which continues to affect agricultural production and harvest. In his analysis, Professor Egide says that there is need to invest more in climate change and more effort to be put in building and empowering the capacities of weather forecasters. More effort should be directed towards weather forecasts, using advanced technologies like area warning signal systems to predict and safeguard against negative effects of climate change. All these problems, whether based on political unrest or climate change, are responsible for price fluctuations on the global market. The Central Bank of Rwanda says that even if it were to get worse, Rwanda has enough foreign currency reserve to support it in times of crisis, as revealed to us by Professor Kasai Ndahiriwe, head of the Monetary Policy Department. By December, we shall still be having enough foreign currency in our reserve, capable of facilitating importation of goods and services without any other entry of foreign currency. This can take us for about 5 months. It could also go beyond 5 months, but for any developing country, it is not good to have a reserve of say 20 or 30 months, yet you have other areas of need to also focus on. For that reason, 4.7 months, which is almost 5 months, is considerably a good reserve period for Rwanda. According to the data of the Central Bank of Rwanda, by the end of June, Rwanda's reserve was $2.04 billion, which is more than 2,673 billion Rand francs, which can sustain the country for almost 5 months while importing goods from elsewhere in the world, should there be unprecedented times hindering entry of any foreign currencies. William Evans, Mutabazi, RwandaTV News.
And to education matters, the Ministry of Education noted that district authorities are always ready to help students who have problems with the departments and actually schools to which they were admitted to. We do have the details.
After the announcement of the results of the final exams of the primary schools and the ordinary level of secondary schools at the center of the examination and inspection of schools, there was an influx of parents and students, and they have different problems. They showed that they are not convinced with the results of the grades they got, including receiving schools that they are not happy with, missing their grades in the system, and receiving schools and courses that they should continue their studies. The issue of these students started when they were doing exams. The face that was on the form was not hers, but they told her to do the exams because there was nothing to do about it. They told her to do the exam and told us to come to NESA for making corrections. When we came, they told us to come when the results are out. So we came back for the same issue, but I even checked in the system, but there is nothing to be found in there.
I did my national exam, but my results are not complete. I'm not seeing the results of Kinyarwanda lesson. I'm here to know why I got incomplete results.
He suggested art combinations at Nyundo because he's really good at it, but they gave him to study mathematics. We would like to suggest that the combination a student chose, they should also check it if it is their talent, so that our children should go in a combination they are happy with. They told us that we should go for applications processes, but we are really afraid because there is a big number of people applying. Mrs. Irere Claudette, the State Minister of Ministry of Education, points out that in provision of combinations and schools, with the rate of their results, but to those who have these problems in rural areas are being helped. In giving schools to students, we go by their performance, which means that students who got best results, they are the ones to get best schools and combinations they wanted first. People should go to these centers and show them their issues. So you may find that a student lives with a disability and it will be hard for them to study in a fair place. So all of those issues, we highly suggest them to go in those centers, and they should have the index number they used in the exams. When we have that, helping them will be easier. On the part of those who received incomplete grades due to the number of courses they did, the Ministry of Education continues to show that analysis is being made of why the student did not get his grades and therefore will be helped. Sometimes we may find that there is an issue with the lesson of a student. In that case, sometimes we do not publish these results, we publish half of it. That is why we normally say that these results may change anytime. It doesn't mean that everything will be changed, but sometimes these cases can happen because of such issues. Students who took the primary school national exams in 2023-2024 school year were more than 200,000. 96.8% passed and 3.2% failed. In the public schools ordinary level, about 143,000 students took the national exam. 93.8% passed and 6.2% failed. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
The city of Kigali has called on residents with plots near main roads to plant trees and grasses around them in efforts to increase the quality of air. This comes as the city pledges to plant at least 3 million trees in the next 5 years. On the roadsides in the city of Kigali, trees and other greens dominate the view, which positively contributes to the weather, especially the air. However, residents of Kigali have been voicing the growing concern over the increasingly erratic weather patterns that have buffeted the city, as areas that used to be lush and tree-lined neighborhoods are now marked by stark gaps where towering trees once stood failed to make way for residential developments. There are few trees. Forests were cut down in many places for residential purposes. Also, some kinds of trees have completely extincted. It's a big problem. Some people burn substances, and when the smoke rises in the air, it affects some people's respiratory parts. The other issue is that some people litter garbage, which causes problems. When there are trees, they release fresh air, and people feel better. Motor vehicles emit a lot of gases in the air, which affects the climate. You can clearly see that the climate is not good. Without trees, we can't have good air. You can see that I am wearing a face mask because of that reason. Motor vehicles with high emissions should be reduced, and more trees should be planted. One of the reasons for the pollution of air in Kigali is that some diesel vehicles emit a lot of gases in the air. Also, many people burn things that emit gases in the air. Sensitization is needed to increase electric vehicles, but also those who burn garbage should stop. The City of Kigali administration reiterated plans to sensitize residents, especially those whose plots of land are near main roads, to plant more trees as a measure to increase the quality of air. Because of some people's activities, many plots of land have been cleared with no grass or trees. There is a lot that we can do to improve the quality of air, including planting more trees. The target is to plant at least 3 million trees in the next 5 years. We encourage residents to plant trees or grass on their plots, especially those near the main road. We have been doing that, but we are planning to double the efforts so as to improve the quality of our air. One of the measures in place to increase the quality of air in the city of Kigali is the establishment of recreation and eco parks in different parts of the city. Residents also call for increased inspection of vehicles in order to eliminate those that pollute the air with emissions. And that's all from us here at RBA's Rwanda Television News. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team that made it happen, many thanks for being with us. My name is Sam Kalisa, and up until next time, stay safe and have a great evening. Goodbye.